with Assassin's Creed Odyssey seeming more alien to Assassin's Creed than anything before it, featuring a seemingly damaging amount of fundamental alterations to the game, how it plays and works, undermining aspects of lore, things like that. I'm sure you've heard about all of that shit more times than you care to count. So in this video, we're not going to be talking about that riffraff specifically. If you want to see my take on all that confusing twaddle, then there are a couple of videos already out there that will be linked at the end entertaining that particular debate. Today, however, we're going to address a different topic of discussion: the modern day. The modern day is perhaps the only thing that can make sense of how Odyssey's historical RPG experience fits into lore, both by using damage control to prevent any ripples from harm to the lore and explaining it so it works and makes sense. Or at least as much sense as possible, because this is Assassin's Creed lore we're talking about, and that's practically a book with a massive glory hole in the middle. What I'm trying to say in my long-winded, potentially pretentious, irritating and ironically immediately standing overly wordy way is that the modern day in Odyssey is not just important to the game and the universe, but crucial. I mean, regardless of whether or not the modern day is great or complete dog shit, I have no doubts that the game will be a fun RPG. And now the dog's fucking barking. Oh, for fuck's sake. Do you fucking mind? Okay, so, first things first, dogs started barking. Now they're dropping off a fucking skip outside. What the fuck? This is turning into a proper recording session from hell, isn't it? I'm sorry, let's get back to the actual topic of the video. So like I was saying, regardless of whether or not the modern day is good or bad, I'm sure that the game itself will be fun. But of course, that's not what this video is about. With the modern day apparently being heavier in focus in this upcoming title, that makes it more prominent, making it even more crucial that it's done right and well. If the modern day fails to at least make sense of this game, it could manipulate the lore and the universe in a way that damages it beyond the reach of the various MacGuffins established in the universe and any other attempts at repair. Obviously, the modern day is still following the story of Layla Hassan, which we know because Layla Hassan pops up briefly at the end of the E3 demo. The shot lasts for less than a second, but she's definitely there. This tells us two things: that the modern day won't take us somewhere random that we don't care about and potentially build up Layla as the link between the games and perhaps at least bring this particular part of the franchise, this saga shall we say, Origins and Odyssey, to a head at some point, sort of like how Desmond did between Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 3. This is obviously a more valuable route to take than the randomness of Black Flag, Rogue, Unity and Syndicate's respective modern days, which literally were all over the place.
Thank God you're alright.
Oh, tish tosh. It'll take more than a Templar super soldier to end the glorious saga of Sean Danger Hastings.
It's very good news that Origins Modern Day wasn't another pointless sub-story, as it didn't feel that way what with William Miles showing up and then the potential for a continuation, meaning that there will at least be some investment in Odyssey going in. The second thing that seeing Layla in promotional content means is that the modern day presence in Odyssey is greater significantly than perhaps in previous games. When it comes to Assassin's Creed, the modern day doesn't typically find its way into the promotional content. It barely even gets spoken about until the release of the game, with the modern day getting addressed with interviews and, if even only a few seconds on screen in the demo. We know that this game is presenting the promise of a heavier modern day focus. Having modern day present can help undermine the argument that people have been presenting that Assassin's Creed Odyssey isn't an Assassin's Creed game, which will be a stronger defense if the modern day is greater. So having sporadic but present modern day like in Origins probably wouldn't cut it, so it's got to have a significant amount more than that. But it could make the game worth it for the overall franchise. So hopefully the writers have taken this opportunity to account for the gamble that this game is for the franchise and ensure that the overall story of Origins wasn't pointless by continuing with Layla's story in a way that we can all appreciate, which means making this game not pointless as well. And with all of what I've been saying, what I'm trying to say is that as a game, the game will be judged by the historical side and the RPG elements and all of that wonderful stuff. But as an Assassin's Creed game, I think most people will find themselves judging the modern day aspects, which is why that needs to shine if nothing else does. Because as it stands, that's the major way to tether this game to the franchise and make it relevant. Now, there's no point in speculating how exactly this modern day will go because I frankly couldn't care less about it this side of release. I do, however, care to express my hopes for its quality and integrity to the franchise, which is what I've expressed here. At the same time, glossing over what could happen if the modern day fails to succeed in these areas. It's not too different from other Assassin's Creed games when it comes to the modern day. The modern day should be important in every Assassin's Creed game. and if it isn't, then the game's frankly pointless in the overarching story that's being told. An example of this would be Assassin's Creed Unity. Here's your spoiler warning, you can click off now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At the end of Unity, Bishop reveals to you that everything you have done has been for nothing, meaning that Arno's story has benefited the overarching narrative a whole 0%. Now that's the definition of an unsatisfying ending. Hopefully Odyssey doesn't have that problem, and considering that it's a continuation with Layla, it ensured that Origins wasn't pointless, or at least reinforced it, because Origins showed the origin story of the Assassin Brotherhood. But if the modern day doesn't deliver in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and give us something, not necessarily an ending, but something to build on, a story that they're going to build on, we'll wind up back where we were with no progression since Assassin's Creed 3. As for conserving the lore, the RPG elements such as choose your own gender, dialogue options, multiple choices, multiple endings, could risk messing up the universe big time if it's not explained in a way that makes sense in the modern day. Now that within itself shouldn't be too difficult, but it needs to be done, because if it's not, there's a huge extended universe of comics that nobody frankly gives a shit about, and colouring books and things that rely on hard canon. Without something in place to prevent the choices that you make from affecting the universe outside of the game, well, the universe is about to get 10 times more convoluted, and that, more than anything, is why the modern day in this game is crucial, not just to this game in particular, but the entire Assassin's Creed universe. Now there are plenty of things that they can do with the modern day and plenty of ways to do them. At this point all we can do is sit back, wait for the release of the game and hope that it's good. Not just in quality, but good as in healthy as well. But anyway, thank you all for watching this video. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share. Of course, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comment section. Be sure to go ahead and follow me on Twitter as well. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you all very soon with another video at some point.